What's up, everyone? This is Destroyer229, and welcome back to Let's Play Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. Last time, we got going on the second day of investigations. We didn't really learn a whole lot. We were able to talk to Angel Star for a little bit, and was able to get a little bit more info on the Sl9 incident. Sl9 was basically where she, Marshall, and Goodman were all involved in some sort of case. And through fabricated evidence, they found their person guilty, and that person was ultimately executed. Although, several months afterwards, where fabricated evidence was discovered, Star was let go, and Marshall was demoted. Though not Goodman for some reason. In this episode, we're going to continue on in our investigation. We've got two places that we can go to. There's the Detention Center, where we can talk to the person they arrested for the other Bruce Goodman murder, but also the evidence room where the crime took place. So let's start there and see if we can't try to get in. Except Marshall isn't here. Looks like there's a video feed from the evidence room here. There's a light blinking below the monitor. It says recording. I bet we could use this computer to check on who went in and out of there. Yeah, it'd be nice, although... Well, actually... That might be how they got their suspect. This swinging door makes the place look like some kind of saloon. But look, it's nailed shut. Can't get in that way. Of course not. If you went in through here, the cactus would fall over. Ouch! I'd say it'd be more of a yeah myself. Isn't the cactus kind of in a pot? I don't get why it would topple over. Oh well, whatever. Apparently there's nothing we can actually do here, so we'll have to come back to that later. So what we actually need to go to is the detention center. Alright, well, I wanted to go to the evidence room first, but to the detention center it is. Still, I do feel better about things. A little. I mean, they caught the person who stabbed Detective Goodman, didn't they? Yeah, I guess they did. Best to not go too far down that road right now. Things will just get more confusing. I know it doesn't say more, but I felt like that was very much necessary. What was that? What? Sir, that's what I'm saying! Me? A perpetrator? I'd say... I was perpetrating. Oh, wait, no, this is Meekins, isn't it? I'd say I was perpetrating against her. That's what I'd say. Oh, it is Meekins. Hi, greetings, sir. Wait, I know who you are. Excuse me, but is Mr. Edgeworth anywhere on the premises? I'm here, sir, at the request of the chief, sir. I've got your report, sir. Officer Meekins. So, you're a guard here at the detention center? No, sir, I'm not, sir. I'm a little lost patrolman, like a little lost lamb, sir. Oh, I get it. You're here to deliver a report. No, sir, how should I say this? Wait, he isn't. Is he? Officer Meekins, you didn't, did you? Perpetrator Officer Meekins reporting, sir! What? What? Now this is an unexpected turn of events. You don't say! I was expecting someone entirely new! Not... Meekins. Sir! I'm a patrolman with General Affairs, sir! Sir! Ow! I can hear you fine, Officer Meekins. I had some business that day, sir, so I went to the evidence room, sir. The guard station in front of the room was empty, sir. So normally there's a guard at the evidence room. That's right, sir, because evidence is kept in the evidence room, sir. Now the security officer was none other than Officer Marshall. Marshall? Why would that be surprising, Phoenix? Then, sir, I happened to glance at the security room monitor. That's when I saw him, sir. A suspicious person in the evidence room. A suspicious person, sir! A suspicious person! What the heck is this guy doing? So, what happened then? After that, sir, everything went white. I saw red. I blacked out. And when I came to, I was here in the detention center. How long were you out? Days? Might I ask, what happened to your hand? Sir, there was no one to bandage me, sir. So I did what I could to wrap it up, sir. A bandage on his hand? Just like Miss Sky. Yet another similarity between this case and the one at the prosecutor's office. First things first, tell us how you hurt your hand. Well, before that, I don't mean to pry, but you are the perpetrator, correct? You killed Detective Bruce Goodman in the evidence room, right? Sir, please don't look at me with those sad puppy dog eyes, sir! If you have to label me a perpetrator or a victim, sir, then label me a victim! I would, but you happen to be in detention and alive and well at that. Yes, well, that's true, sir. I suppose you could say that. Did you know the victim, Detective Goodman? Well, sir, if I had to label him as a stranger or a total stranger, then I'd say he leans heavily into total stranger side. So you didn't know him? Sir, I work in a tiny department devoid of light or other creature comforts. I don't know any detectives. So, if he was a total stranger, why did you stab him? Sir, I had no intention of killing him, sir, none! Nor do I have any collection of killing him, sir! At least someone's around here is more confused than I am. Alright, what happened to your hand? About your hand, did that happen during the course of the crime? Well, you see, sir! Don't you think you should just confess? But, sir, but there's nothing I can do! Nothing you could do? Sir, to tell the truth, sir, when it happened, when the detective pointed the knife at me, I just hollered, sir! And the next thing I knew, I was unconscious! The next thing you knew, huh? Then when I opened my eyes, I was alone in the evidence room, sir! All alone! Alone because Detective Goodman had disappeared! What? Then when I looked down, I was gushing blood from my hand, sir! Oh, and the shock and the sorrow, sir! Can you imagine how I felt? The victim's body disappeared? Huh. That's some story. Okay. So, how could they establish time of death? You know, it was probably from that recording, it was a stabbing. That's probably how they established the time of the crime. If I had to guess. We could show him the autopsy report and see if there's anything he could say about this. Officer Meekins, could you take a look at this? I'm sorry, sir. Really sorry, but I have no idea what that is. Maybe you should ask Mr. Edgeworth, sir. He's passing the buck, Mr. Wright. It takes a special kind of man to pass the buck to Edgeworth. Would he know anything about the blue badger? He has no idea what the blue badger is. Okay. The ID? Do you think you could take a look at this? Hey! That's it, sir! That's it! What? My head was a blank until this very moment! But sir, now I remember, sir! You mean you remember what happened? Correct! That card was the cause of it all! This ID card? Exactly, sir! That's exactly it! I better pry in this one a little deeper. Yeah, you're not making any sense, Meekins. Oh, it just replaced the other one. Can you tell me what it is you do remember? Well, sir, you might say I'm a lost little patrolman. A lost little lamb, if you will. I didn't know Mr. Detective Goodman, who was in the evidence room. And that's why you thought he looked suspicious. Sir, I entered the evidence room and asked the man to show me his ID card. Well, that sounds pretty much like by the book so far. That's right, sir! That's what I've been trying to tell you! So you asked Detective Goodman to show his ID card. What did he do? That's the thing! Suddenly he pointed a knife at me! What? Sir, I assure you, I was flustered as you are right now. So I whooped and leapt at him. Detective Goodman pointed a knife at him? Do unto the others before they do unto you! My own father's words, sir. What happened then? Well, my eyes, sir, everything went white. When I awoke, I was here. Right. Wait! I'm confused! How was Meekins able to give the report to Edgeworth if he was blacked out? If he was blacked out at the time of the crime and awoke in the detention center, which I assume would have been when Gant actually took the stand, how was he able to give the report to Edgeworth about him killing Goodman? I'm so confused right now. So, Officer Meekins, why was it they arrested you? What do you mean, Emma? Let's look at what we know. Now, Officer Meekins didn't know Detective Goodman. And the victim who he met at the scene of the crime didn't show his ID card. In other words, we have no way of knowing if the victim was really the victim. And if this body just disappeared from the evidence room, we don't even know if anyone actually died. That's it, sir! That's what I wanted to say! I did say something along those lines. Huh? But you still ended up here? They told me that it had to be him, sir. On that day, at that time, Detective Goodman was definitely in the evidence room. That's what they said! But you don't remember the events clearly. No, but the videotape's quite clear. Huh? Videotape? From the security camera. The crime, my crime, the crime I swore to stamp out. It's there, it's me, it's on tape. And you waited until now to tell us this? I'm sorry, I'm really sorry, sir. I'll hand over my badge. I don't deserve it. No, thanks. I have my own. Well, guess we better go check on the crime scene. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I'm still confused as to how Meekins was able to try to deliver that to Edgeworth if he was technically in the detention center. Now I'm super lost about this. Okay, so police department, let's head on over to Marshall's office. Except he's still not here. Actually, could we examine this? Doesn't look like it. There's a security guard uniform hanging here. Looks more like a costume than a uniform, honestly. A leather jacket, leather pants, a leather... What was that called again? A punchy, a paunchy, a pinchy? Oh, I know, a poochie! Wait, maybe that wasn't it. It's a poncho, but I think I'll keep that information to myself for the time being. Yeah, there's still nothing here. Okay. To Edgeworth, then? Nope, still nothing at Edgeworth. Where do I go? Now I'm completely lost. Where should we begin? Well, isn't it obvious? Oh. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Go to the police department, the evidence room. Yeah, that doesn't actually tell me anything. I mean, unless I can present him with something. The knife, maybe? Maybe I can present Meekins with the knife. Officer Meekins, this is for you. Ah! I'm scared of knives, sir! It's okay. I just want you to look at it. That's it, sir! Last night, sir! That's the one! I was an apple, sir, in my dream, sir, and I was being peeled. On second thought, you don't have to look at the knife. Huh, he's overreacting to the knife, but I guess he's been through a lot. Okay, well that didn't do anything. Shoe? No idea about the shoe. Yeah, he says pass it off to Edgeworth. Maybe the note? No idea. Okay, no idea of that, no idea of that. He definitely have no idea of that. What about Edgeworth's knife? Okay. So either knife gets that reaction. King of Prosecutors? Has no idea about the King of Prosecutors. Okay. Oh! Apparently I forgot to check in at Criminal Affairs. Alright. Hey, Mr. Wright. Look who's standing at the Chief of Detectives' desk. It's Police Chief Gant. And you're sure this is all? You know what it means if there's anything missing. Sir, I'm sure it's most likely totally perfect. We checked all of his drawers, lockers, garbage cans, bags, coat pockets, hats. Under his seat cushion, behind his computer monitor, inside his personal coffee machine. I see. Well, if anything does turn up, you call me right away. Deal? Yes, sir. We'll scour the place again, sir. Chief of Detective looks a little flustered. Righto, my boy. How you been? Swim much? Chief Gant, reporting for duty, sir. Why are you saluting him, Mr. Wright? Okay, well, this is not who I expected to talk to today. But he's here. Is Edgeworth gonna be okay? Oh, Worthy? Oh, you know, they're doing a little inquiry committee with him. Sounds like an inquisition. Yeah, well, they've had no end of trouble with the boy since last year. You mean the incident on Gourd Lake? It doesn't look good having a top prosecutor sit in the defendant's seat, does it? And you got someone else found guilty in that case, right, Righto? Von Karma. A legend he was, undefeated in his 40-year career. But in court, you fixed it so he was caught for forging evidence. Wait, I didn't do anything wrong. He did forge evidence. In any case, the prosecutor's office is in a bit of turmoil, you might say. Why, they'd do just about anything to restore their reputation. Now, depending on what that inquiry committee decides, it could be bad for Worthy. What? Yeah, I guess everything dealing with Von Karma and the fact that Edgeworth was Von Karma's pupil, that doesn't really look good for Edgeworth. It's downright odd, I tell you. The detective getting killed on their own turf, too. I mean, they're being the prosecutors, I assume? Scientifically speaking, it's impossible. Yes, but that's what the evidence is saying. Goodman was stabbed in 2 locations at the same time. That's what it says. What evidence is this? Now, Righto, I can't give away all our secrets just like that. And this in particular, well, it's a little sensitive, and I can't talk about it. I wasn't expecting much anyway. You know, one thing I hate most of all is hiding stuff. Secrets. Can't stand them. But you know, it's a full-time job just keeping the chief of detectives trap shut. He was the one you were picking on earlier. Oh, you saw that? Whoops! I wonder what it was that he wanted the chief of detectives to do. Let's see if we can kind of discreetly ask him. How? Discreetly ask him about... Sorry for the pause right there, just wanted to make sure my recording wasn't screwing up, you know, like 2 episodes ago. Okay, what exactly am I looking for again? Okay. Hiding stuff, full-time job keeping the detective... Well, chief of detectives to do. Let's see if we can kind of discreetly ask him. How? Maybe the King of Prosecutors trophy? I was running. Could you take a look at this? Sorry, Righto. I'm through with that stuff. Though I say... Go find that guy who can't seem to sit still out there. The busy one. The guy who can't sit still... Does he mean Detective Gumshoe? Either him or the dancing blue badger. Speaking of which... Nope, nothing with the badger. Discreetly ask him about his case. The note? Nope. Gotta be... I have to present him with something. The knife? Nope. How am I supposed to discreetly ask about this sort of thing? The fluid? Nope. At this point, I'm just trying basically everything. The steak! No, he doesn't want steak! Shoe? No shoe. The parking stop? No. The ID? What am I supposed to do? The knife? No, nothing with the knife. I tried the parking stop. The autopsy report? I don't know how I can discreetly do this. Lana committing the crime. Nope. My defense attorney badge! Okay, I get the feeling maybe I should just move on to something else. Maybe Marshall is back? No. Okay. The parking lot? Nope. Detention Center? Nope. Wright and Company? No! There's nothing that's changed! Okay, so I have to present Gant with something. What haven't I tried? The cell phone? I've tried everything. I've literally tried everything. How else can I discreetly ask? You know what? I have an idea. I haven't tried examining anything. Maybe Blue Badger? So this is the police mascot, is it? The Blue Badger, the future star of the police force. The design's a little changed from the one outside. Ah, well, the dancing Blue Badger, trademark, is still under development, you see? You have it trademarked? Absolutely. It's cutting-edge stuff. Very now. I showed this doll here to my daughter, and she burst into tears. Don't show her the moving mock-up outside, then you'll give her nightmares. Maybe ask him. Oh, sorry you had to say that. What exactly did the chief of police want you to do? Well, you see over there? That's Goodman's desk. He wanted me to check it for anything that might be a clue. They took away every last piece of garbage in the trash can. So, nothing belonging to Detective Goodman is still here? Of course not. Well, except for this. What? You kept something? Sure, why not? It's not important. You didn't even finish writing it. It's a lost item report, but it's only half complete. A lost item? Did Detective Goodman lose something? The date on it is February 21st. Better make a note of that just in case. Okay, date 2/21. Wasn't that the day that he was murdered? Can only be submitted to the chief of police. Should really get back to investigating the police department crime scene. Yeah, February 21st. So this was, made the day that he died. Lost item report. Date 2/21. ID... Oh, interesting. So it doesn't actually say what item. He was just filling out a lost item report. But 5-9 and a scribble out over the 9. Which, I mean... I'm gonna try going to Marshall now, because Phoenix kind of said to. Nope. Okay, well... I figured either I go to Marshall and something's changed, or I show Gant the thing. So let's show Gant the thing. Nope! Okay, so that still doesn't really tell me anything! Blah, 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 blah. You finish writing it. Better make a note of that just in case. Okay. So, where do I go from here? Oh! Apparently, I could just talk to Gant about that without showing him anything. Actually, I was wondering if I could ask you a favor. Well, I never thought the day would come when Wright asked me for help. I was wondering if we could investigate the evidence room. Now, righto. Actually, I'm sorry. I don't need to investigate after all. Righto, please. Do I look like a selfish man? Huh? Heck, if anyone asks me, sir, can I borrow $50? I give him $50. No problem. So go ahead. Investigate that room to your heart's content. Knock yourself out. Oh, it just goes to show you never know until you ask. And for you, here, you can borrow this. Huh. Hey, this is a detective's ID card, isn't it? That's a special card for guests, so don't lose it. Yes, sir, it's an honor. You just run along and do your best now. Later, folks. It looks pretty cool on my lapel, doesn't it? Just think, a real ID. You seem happy. Yes, sir. Because, sir, we can go into the evidence room now, sir. I think this place is a bad influence on the girl. Yeah, she's starting to sound like Meekins. Well, we can go there now. By the way, oh, okay, so we don't actually have it as evidence, but we can just go to the door. The evidence room is beyond that door. And we have the ID card from Chief Gant. Let's just walk in. It won't open. Aha! The card reader's turned off, see? What is that security guard thinking? Howdy, partners. Well, well, what's made my bambina's sky so gray? Officer Marshall! Why does it have to be him? Phoenix, it's very obviously him! What's that, why does it have to be him look for? As you may have surmised, this here's my saloon. We're here to investigate the crime scene. Yeah! That card you got there on your chest? That's better than a sheriff's badge in these parts. Yeehaw? Well, what you standing there for? Get along, little doggies. Crime scene's awaiting. Looks like the card reader's on again. While we're here, I was wondering if we could ask you some questions. Sorry, cowboy, but I got no mind to tangle with you hombres. You're busy then? Did I say that? I only said I didn't wish to speak with you. Actually, you said you had no mind to tangle with us hombres. Can we actually talk to him? I was wondering if we could talk to you. Sorry, Bambina. But I'm off to roam the lands like a tumbleweed on a wide prairie. Like a gunslinger loading his six-shooter, I say a little prayer. What was that all about, Mr. Wright? I think he was just too hungry to talk. You're just saying that because his stomach was growling. You have no idea what he was talking about either. Well, in any case, we need to get cracking on this investigation pronto. But before that, why don't we give him the food? That smell. Reminds me of Texas. So, Officer Marshall, you're from Texas? No, I just saw a special on television the other day. Is this from my baby? Yeah, Miss Starr. What's this? What? What's wrong? A filet steak lunch. I see. I don't see. I wonder what it means. Steak lunch given to Marshall. Alright, Bambina, you win. Ask anything. Finally! It seems like he's willing to talk! Alright, cool. Let's actually talk to him now. Actually, how am I doing on time? Running pretty low on time. Let's see how far we can get. Hopefully it won't take too long. Officer Marshall, you're in charge of security for the evidence room, right? You got good eyes as a partner. It's an easy job, and I'm grateful for it. Actually, Officer Meekins at the detention center told us. That poor little doggy. Poor guy. I keep getting his name wrong calling him Meekly. He told us something. He said that when the stabbing occurred, you weren't at your station. Well, maybe I shouldn't be telling you this. But since I got demoted from detective 2 years ago, well, it might not look like it, but I lost my fire for the job, you know? So, what were you doing around 5:15 when the murder took place? Well, I reckon I was galloping down the highway on the back of my steed. Back of my steed, Zippy. Note, he was riding down the highway on his horse named Zippy. There's no need for people here anyhow. These newfangled machines do a bang-up job of keeping an eye on the place. You mean the security camera system? I don't take machines much. Kinda like that stewed broccoli they sneak in next to your steak, you know? Okay, can we ask him about himself? Miss Starr told us something. She said that you were a detective until 2 years ago. It was always my dream to be a rawhide wrangler on the scene of the crime. That's all gone now, like a drinking hole in a prairie fire. You're still investigating the Sl9 incident with Miss Starr, aren't you? That was my case. It's all solved on the record books, but it smells like a bad game of poker. I can't let it go. That's all there is to it. What kind of case was it anyway? We heard the name so many times, but no one tells us what actually happened. There are some things you're better off not knowing, Bambina. Anyway, that case is... I officially dead as of 2 days ago. 2 days ago? The day of our case. That's right. The evidence transfers. Or transferals. Edgeworth was talking about the transferals too. Okay, well first off, I know what maybe 2 of the machines in here do. Only 2 of them? There must be a dozen! Like I said, Bambina, me and machines, well, I like them about as much as I like stewed cauliflower with my steaks. Easiest ones to understand are these here security cameras. Those are the ones that Officer Meekins mentioned. Nothing happens, the tapes are automatically erased every few hours. And Officer Meekins and Detective Goodman, are they on one of those tapes? I reckon they might be. You're the security guard and you reckon? One more thing. When you go into the evidence room, you need an ID card. Thus the card reader by the door. Card reader leaves a record of every ID that passes through. So this is the ID card record. Hey! I've seen that somewhere before! Sorry, Bambina, I can't show you more than that. Huh? I haven't heard whether this is related to the case yet. Mr. Wright, I saw a number on that record just now. I've seen that number before. Maybe there's some way I can prove that the record is tied to the stabbing. Yeah, I saw Goodman's number there. But before that... Sorry, but could you explain what this whole transfer thing is about? We keep only evidence from solved cases in this room. They're kept here under the presiding detective's supervision for 2 years. So we can reinvestigate them if it turns out there was a mistake, see? So what happens to the evidence after 2 years? It goes to sleep forever in the underground vault at the county sheriff's department. That's what we call transferal. We do it every February. I see now. Transferal is like a funeral for old cases. 2 years after a case is solved, it's closed forever. Dead. Never to be reopened again. Never to be reinvestigated. And that happened to Sl9 2 days ago. Okay, so I guess if a case is solved... I guess the reason that DL6 wasn't part of that was because... Yogi was found innocent, so there was no one to actually be found guilty of who killed Gregory Edgeworth. So the case was remained unsolved, and unsolved cases can be solved at any time. The case was still technically open, and that statute of limitations ends in 15 years. But for cases that are solved, that do get a guilty verdict, they are put aside for 2 years in case they need to be reopened for any reason. And that's what's happening here. So if there's a guilty verdict and someone is declared guilty of that crime, then it's a 2-year period between when the case is officially, quote, solved and when it can't be opened again. And then 15 years is when there's no one that has been found guilty for that. That's at least the impression I'm getting. Okay, so let's show him Goodman's ID. See this? This is the victim's ID card. Ah, the one that was on the ground in the parking lot. The number on this is 5842189. Officer Marshall, show us that ID card record again. Look, the 4th number. It's a perfect match. It was used at 5:14, right before the stabbing. What's more, there's only one of them cards in the world. So, when the incident occurred, Detective Goodman was in the evidence room. But wait, what did Officer Meekins say? Sir, I entered the evidence room and asked the man to display his ID card. So you asked Detective Goodman to show his ID card. What did he do? That's the thing! Suddenly he pointed a knife at me! If he had his ID card then, why would he have pointed a knife at Officer Meekins? Alright, compadre, you win. I guess I can give you this ID card record. Nice! I've got an idea. Maybe I should show this list to other people with IDs here. Interesting, to try to see who else was on here. So the ID record, okay. So there's only one actual name that's here, and that's Bruce Goodman. You know, that's probably just something that maybe Phoenix wrote in. So there's one that's all 7s. There's 8730579. And then 3 and 5 are the exact same. 4989596. One was at 450 and the other was at 514 at the same time as Bruce Goodman. Huh. That's very interesting. The all 7s one is also interesting. Well, we're definitely well over time. You know, I'm willing to bet that there's still going to be a lot more investigation, because we're probably going to need to try to find out who all these numbers correlate to. And the fact that we still have to investigate the crime scene as well, we're good to call it a day here. So, next time on Let's Play Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. We go and see the second crime scene. We'll see exactly where it was that Meekins was stabbed? Stabbed Goodman? Stabbed person impersonating Goodman? I honestly have no idea. We're here to investigate the second crime scene, and after that, we can maybe see if we can't try to find out who these other numbers correlate to. So we're looking at 3 different people that came in here, since 3 and 5 are the same person. So we need 3 different people to match who came in at these times. Well, I guess we'll get cracking next time. So, until then, everyone, take care.